Hey everyone, Duke here, and today we're making an updated and complete guide to Legendary Shards for Season of the Plunder. This video will go over all of the best ways and tips to get more Legendary Shards. Some of these will be familiar to those that have watched my other videos, but there's going to be a number of new methods as well. Starting us off, the playlist activities of Strikes, Gambit, and Crucible, especially during double rep weeks or double Nightfall rewards weeks, are extremely strong and easy to farm options to acquire a large number of Legendary Shards, as well as numerous other useful rewards. I would definitely recommend doing whichever activity is double rep if there is one active, as you get more legendary drops as well as other track rewards from leveling up in each activity, and can of course level faster when double reputation is active. Also, you should be sure to use the Prosperity Ghost mod for whatever activity you're running, as this gives you a chance to get even more legendary drops at the end of activities, which will equate to even more legendary shards. Make sure to pick up the bounties associated with each of these activities as well, as you'll want it for the XP, but also some of these bounties either give direct rep for vendors, which can then unlock more drops for you, adding up to more legendary shards, or have a drop associated with completing 8 bounties for each specific vendor, giving you yet another legendary drop as well as some bright dust. Next, we have Dares of Eternity. The base drops are again pretty good, but you will have the additional chance for lightning rounds, which gives a huge amount of drops, as well as Star Horse bounties giving paraversal hulls, which give more gear as well. And not only that, but some highly sought after weapons from Dares are now craftable and require the patterns to be crafted, which can only be received from Dares runs as well as the keys you'll get to open the chest more often in Xur's Treasure Hoard. Our new activities for this season, Catch Crash and Expedition, are another good way to get legendary shards as well as unlock new weapons and seasonal triumphs. The star chart in the helm has a few helpful unlocks, such as Skiff Blades for an extra drop when emoting after completion, while Floating Debris and Magnetic Drill both give a higher chance of Season of Plunder gear dropping. All raid challenges featured on the weekly rotating raid, especially Atrax Challenge on Deepstone Crypt Week and Templar Challenge on Vault of Glass Week, are insanely good to farm. These are infinitely farmable and will give you double drops for completing the challenges every single time. Atrax and Templar specifically can be done in just a couple of minutes, giving you 2 raid drops each time that can either be useful as very strong gear to have and use, or dismantled for legendary shards if the role isn't what you're looking for. And as an added bonus, if you do Templar on Master if you're leveled enough to do so, you have the chance to get Ascendant Shards and Ascendant Prisms, as well as a guaranteed Time Lost Fatebringer every single time. An additional passive way to acquire legendary shards that only requires Glimmer and can be done at any time is to purchase any of the blue transmat effects from your collections for 1,000 Glimmer each. Most of these can be found in the earlier seasons of collections, and any of them work for this method. Every set of 3 transmat effects that you buy can then be turned into Holiday in the Tower for a random legendary transmat effect. Then go back into your inventory and delete this legendary transmat effect to give you a legendary shard and 150 of your Glimmer back. And one final tip, and very important tip I have about legendary shards that I feel like most people just don't understand or maybe don't realize, is the concept of infusing gear and how expensive it is. I've talked about this in the past, but basically if you infuse 1 piece of gear, you actually need 2 pieces of gear to do this, because you're going to have the piece that you infuse up and the piece you're using as fuel that ends up getting deleted from your inventory, therefore causing you to lose that piece of gear. And not only that, but you also need an upgrade module, which is going to cost you an additional 10 legendary shards and some other important materials as well. So every single time you infuse a piece of gear up, you're going to be losing that 10 legendary shards from the upgrade module, plus an additional 4 legendary shards from the piece of gear that you're now losing in order to infuse. So it's a total of 14 legendary shards every single time you infuse 1 piece of gear. This can easily come out to thousands of legendary shards for those people that are infusing every single piece of gear that they get, all the way up for however many levels. And 14 legendary shards may not sound like a lot, but if you're doing this even just 1 time across all 8 of your gear slots, that is 112 legendary shards. And if you're leveling all of your gear slots multiple times, potentially multiple times in the same day or in the same couple play sessions, do that again, over 100 legendary shards times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. If you're doing multiple characters potentially too, easily thousands of legendary shards going down the drain, when what you could do is just save that gear, don't infuse it unless you really need to, like if you're doing something that you're really under-leveled for, and then once you get to the cap of whatever the season is, then you infuse 1 time, and you're ending up saving a ton of legendary shards. I hope this video helped you get some extra legendary shards for your reserves. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.